Welcome to a CNBC Africa Captains of Industry edition. Now today we speak on matters of the Basketball Africa League. Now you may have seen conversations around the continent focusing on the first ever tournament, basketball league tournament outside the NBA, supported by the NBA, and it's being held here in Kigali, Rwanda. Now the president of the Basketball Africa League, Amadou Gallo Fall, talks to us on the direction of this tournament. If you want to be part of this conversation, tweet us at CNBC Africa, or you could tag me directly at The Real Quizera. Thank you for making the time, Mr. Amadou, and great chatting to you once again. Wow, what a journey this has been so far. I just want to go back to the time we first talked in about 2018, when this was still an idea, you know, when building of infrastructure was still an idea. We are halfway through this tournament. What does it mean?
History. We made history, and Arnold, you're so right. In 2018, when we were here, and Kigali Arena hasn't been, even started yet. So to think that literally less than a year, actually less than 10 months following the trip, this building was standing. So we were always, excited about coming back and, having in our inaugural format. This league was supposed to launch in Dakar in May 2013, and the finals of the inaugural season taking place here in Kigali. But obviously, with the pandemic, we were forced to adjust, and we're very grateful for the opportunity to have come to Kigali and launch this inaugural season. A fantastic first week. I've been really enjoying all the games. I spent all day at I've seen all the teams play. Very impressed with the talent that's there, especially the local talent. It just says that when you create an enabling environment and get these young people an opportunity to compete against the best from around the continent, we see what can come out of it. And for me, again, kudos to our incredible teams across the NBA family and FIBA who have worked tirelessly for months and months to get us to this point. So great first week, extremely happy about the broadcast footprint. These games being aired in 215 countries around the world and all across Africa in 15 languages. That's a great start, and we couldn't have asked for more. Looking forward to a great playoff rounds after this first group stage.
Congratulations again on making sure that this tournament happens despite the pandemic. It was set for last year. I just want you to take us through that process, right? Of having to shift, creating this bubble. We saw for the first time ever the bubble at the NBA games last year. It took a toll on so many people, players. We had Commissioner Adam Silver also, talking about it there. You as Amadou, as a person who's in the bubble with these players, what has it meant for them?
I think everybody is focused on the task at hand. Our goal is to play a full slate of games, 26 games, and crown a champion on May 30th. All the teams are focused on wanting to, be the last team standing to take the trophy home. So they all understand that we have to work together to make sure that the very strict COVID protocol that we put together in collaboration with the Rwanda's health ministry and RBC, and in consultation with all our partners, FIBA, the NBA, and the Global Health Organization, they all have faith in it, and they've been adhering to it. And because at the end of the day, we have the same goals and same objective. We know all of us know that this is bigger than each of us. So being in the bubble is a great experience. Quite frankly, the teams are focused on competing, and then the rest of the staff, everybody is doing their part to make sure that the health and safety of all people involved remain a priority.
Amadou, I want us to, for the layperson there, to understand what BAL means for the sports industry on the continent.
I think, what it means for us, it's about taking a leadership role in making sure that the tremendous amount of potential that the continent has in the sports and entertainment field benefits the continent. We know that we are great exporters of talent. It's the same as if you take the analogy with all the raw materials that Africa exports. Now, I think more and more there is a realization that we should focus on adding value to those resources. And for us, adding value to the immense talent we have in basketball is about how do we get a vast majority of the talent to be able to showcase right here on the continent, to have young players from anywhere across the continent now with all the works of decades that the NBA and FIBA have been doing on the continent. Now, these young players can start and finish the player development curve right here in Africa. And we will grow an industry. We are going to build expertise across the spectrum, from coaching to referees to all kinds of other jobs that are going to emerge around this basketball industry. The talent has always been here. So for me, it's really the least of my concern was the level of play, like to make whether we would have games that actually fans around the world would enjoy watching. So I think they are, with the vast footprint and the quality of play, some very competitive games. I haven't really been at a game where I'm like, okay, this team doesn't belong. I mean, everybody's competing. Talent is showing up, and we will see now in the next phase when you get into knockout phase where everybody's looking to win. And in one game, I think, forget about the ratings. And that's what's going to create the excitement of the product on the court. But going forward, we look to showcase and to market and to show the rest of the world that, Africa is here on the global stage. The Basketball Africa League, we will build into one of the absolute best professional basketball league in the world for years to come. And it will be an economic growth engine for all the teams participating and beyond. What it means for the continent, I think, having the opportunity to, showcase a truly Pan-African product where the teams competing can travel around the continent, there will be a movement of people and goods and services. And this is how we think, it is going to impact GDPs of countries. It will create jobs beyond just the players that are playing on the court and the coaches coaching the game. We already start seeing that from a broadcast operation standpoint. Young people now have to look at these jobs, these jobs that maybe they haven't traditionally look at in the sports industry, and also an opportunity to, create a lifestyle brand where, fashion and music and art, technology will be showcased through this league.
And it's great that you bring up those other sectors, but I'm going to come back to the impact on those other sectors and how they can be tapped into a little bit later on. You mentioned earlier the commitment of the NBA, and I wanted to ask if the Basketball Africa League, here you're putting on your other hat as VP at the NBA, has picked lessons from previous failure to get involved in the EuroLeague, for example, to see what the EuroLeague has grown into. Are there some lessons that were drawn from that to tap into a continent that has produced the likes of Joel Embiid and Pascal Siakam?
We focus on Africa, and we've been very consistent in our involvement here. We are also building on a tradition of club basketball that FIBA Africa have run. I can date the NBA's involvement on the continent many, many decades. Obviously, Hakeem Olajuwon being drafted #1 overall in 1984. And there's been many trips and visits from different NBA family members, starting from the late Commissioner David Stern in 1993. It was a group of players. There have been clinics that were done throughout multiple countries across Africa. And then we launched Basketball Without Borders Africa in 2003. That camp, which remained the NBA and FIBA's global basketball development and community outreach program, is still running. So running this camp every year gave us more appetite to do more on the continent. And ultimately in 2010, we decided to open an office in Johannesburg to better maximize on the opportunity we see here to grow the game of basketball and build a business and an industry around basketball. So all the milestones that were realized during that last decade from when we opened the office in 2010, the junior NBA leagues that have been run across the continent, launching the NBA academies, hosting 3 sold-out NBA Africa games in South Africa have actually, really led to now the formation and the launch of the Basketball Africa League. So for us, just that consistency, paved the way. It had nothing to do with whatever happened in other parts of the world. We executed on a plan. Obviously we didn't, set any time limits to it. I think things happen when we feel, it was the right time to move to the next step. So I think it's that attitude that we are going to continue to have, to continue to improve, to get better, to put a better product out there. This is season 1. Like I say, the focus was to get it off the ground, and I think it's happening, and it's happening, really in a special way. When we're judging by the interest from all around the world, and also the motivation of the players that are participating in it right now to want to, stay in it, and other teams who didn't qualify, I'm pretty sure looking forward to be part of season 2. So we're just going to continue to, step by step, build this league.
Amadou, you talked about the sectors that may benefit from this, technology being one of those, music the other, fashion another, that may be amplified by the Basketball Africa League. How much of a level playing field could local brands have if to be able to compete with the international brands? Because if we look at your kit manufacturer, some local African brands could want to get into that space, but they don't have the means. Broadcasting is another platform. So how can they tap into, this? Because even the bigger brands notice how much of an opportunity and how this is an entry point into a very big African market.
Yeah, I think we've gotten the attention of global brand, but also we're equally pleased with the interest of some local brands we've had actually on our roster of partners for this inaugural season. Flutterwave is in the technology company that is actually really very present and everywhere in this inaugural season with us. We're very proud of the partnership. Bringing in Social Nation Africa, also, an African brand. And we've talked to many other companies that I have no doubt, for season 2 will be on board. You have a host of very strong Pan-African brand and companies that are ready to get on the global stage. And these are, the ones that we are targeting. I cannot name names, but they know who they are, and we're still very interested in continuing the conversation. That we're very close, but obviously, we had to move on with this season. But next year, I have no doubt that there will be a stronger presence from local. When I say local, it's African banks and technology companies, and in companies in the shipping world, and really the categories are wide and far. So we're very excited to continue those conversations and look to showcase obviously talent off the court too. This is why even some of the you see that that introductory video that was produced from a young artist, Blues Melody from Rwanda, and Dip Dundugis from Senegal. And these are the facets that this league is going to come up with to showcase two great African cities, through music. I think was something very, very innovative. And with this league, that's what we want to do: showcase the beauty across Africa. Partnering with Visit Rwanda, I think for us it's something that we are excited about for the next 3 years. And I think other tourism boards from different countries also will pay attention. And again, we want to showcase Africa and what Africa has best to offer to the rest of the world, and also for Africans to discover that we have incredible wealth here, not just under the ground, but our people, our creativity, and especially the vibrant youth that is going to lead the way.
Amadou, just to piggyback off that question, I just want to break it down a little bit further. Is there an opportunity, maybe in the next 2, 3, 4 editions, for something like a local manufacturing brand to be part of like kit creativity, or sponsor a kit for maybe the team representing their country?
We are wide open. Again, we don't put any restriction in anything we do, outside of making sure that we manage the pandemic, so and COVID, and hopefully COVID is no longer with us very soon. But when it comes to partnering, we are more interested in really brands and companies with which we share values. I think those values are the commitment to Africa, its youth, and the opportunity we have here to build a basketball industry. We want to encourage energies that are going to contribute in those efforts. When you talk about whether they're local or international apparel company, what is going to be the key is obviously the quality of the product, and also the opportunity that we can build together. So, and we have discussions, along those lines. And also some of these global brands more and more are going to start wanting to manufacture in Africa, which I think will be part of what we talk about in terms of, building an industry, creating jobs. And if we can have more and more that local expertise built here, that will really, speak to our objectives.
Amadou, I just wanted to go back to the conversation in 2018. I asked you a question regarding the importance of infrastructure in ensuring that there is sports development. And at that time, the Dakar Arena had just been completed, or was about to be completed. Rwanda didn't have an arena, and you told me for Rwanda to host any, or to be able to compete, it needs to build a world-class arena that can host NBA quality kind of games. Why has the building of this arena, why has it been a reflection of bold leadership, and just not on Rwandan leadership, but also you as a leader, Basketball Africa, and working with the sports ministry here to ensure that that success is replicated across other African countries?
Look, I think that's where it all starts, So we spent a good time of, our early years, when we opened the NBA office in Johannesburg, traveling around and going really in all our priority countries to evangelize and, just enlist, stakeholders from sports ministers to basketball federations to just, raise awareness on what we are, undertaking. It was our goal from the beginning to grow this sport, to shed a spotlight on it. And because Africa have had and demonstrated that it always had tremendous athletic talent. This talent, obviously in football, but particularly for us with basketball, we've seen incredible talent coming to the NBA, and this is before even the NBA, started focusing on creating participation opportunities and identifying talent. But it was important for the local stakeholders to understand that there was an opportunity. There was an opportunity for these countries to use sport as a tool, that could contribute in their efforts towards socioeconomic development in Africa. And the talent is as important as the minerals we have under the earth, or the agricultural product, and the natural resources that are discovered everywhere. Our human capital is our biggest asset. So now we have to make sure that we build the capacity around this human capital. Certainly, with anything, technology and infrastructure is going to help Africa leapfrog, in a lot of sectors. So sports is the greatest equalizer. We have the talent. Now we need to develop the expertise and the infrastructure. We found in Rwanda a willing listener, incredible leadership that understood, where we were going with this, and His Excellency has, Paul Kagame has been a supporter, and we are really, excited to see, the progress in such a short period of time. It shows that it is possible, and it is our goal to, make sure that others who are watching see the opportunity and understand that also it is possible to be done right here in Africa. This is for us, a clear message. It's about sports. It's about the youth. It's about maximizing on potential that our continent has. Because if we don't, it is only going to remain potential, and we will be 50 years from now sitting here and talking about, potential. And for us, it's about moving, it's about acting, it's about getting stuff done and moving our continent forward.
And with that, there have been challenges, Amadou. Every time you have something actionable, there are challenges. The pandemic was one challenge. Infrastructure was another challenge. There are going to always be moving target challenges. But what has been the biggest hurdle for you ever since you took the helms of that office in Johannesburg to where you are here having the first tournament in Kigali? What have been, your biggest challenge?
Well, I think it's really across the board, all been opportunities. All those challenges, it's just, as you look at you open an office and you're looking at the big picture. The big picture for us was just the impact we can have using our sport and the celebrity of the NBA brand, to get the youth interested and focused, and also get the stakeholders, people who are, in government and in the private and public sector, to really, make sure that everybody understood that sports was a big deal. It was not just something you only do for recreation. And obviously, we spend a lot of time, talking about, community building, sports are the tool for social cohesion. And we've seen how President Mandela used the South Africa Rugby World Cup in 1995 in a new country that was just coming out of a horrible history to galvanize and unite his people. And we've seen this example over and over again. So we've done that through Basketball Without Borders over decades, impacting young people, getting them to focus on positive social activities, education being first, and getting opportunity to pursue their college degree and all that. But then now, the evolution is that now look at sports as an economic growth engine. Again, it's as valuable as, the gas or oil or diamonds that is under the earth. So, and this is also working realities, our vast young population, that we're not saying that we're going to turn everybody into an NBA player. That's not the goal. But we are going to make sure that a vast majority of them, if they are interested in sport, understand that there is so many ways to make a living in sport outside of playing it on the court or coaching. So what really makes the NBA special is that the NBA hire the best lawyers, the best finance people, the best sound engineers in all aspects of what it takes to put a professional sports league together. So we want to encourage young people to look at whatever line of studies and they decide to get into, to not limit themselves into just, okay, let me get my degree and go teach or go work for a tech company or a bank. You can work for a professional sports organization also. But for us to get there, we have to make sure that we put the first the foundation. And for us, the Basketball Africa League represents one of those foundations, one of those pillars that are going to be a leader in a growing sports industry on the continent.
Amadou, unfortunately, we're running out of time. This conversation could have gone on for another hour or so. But just before you leave, what does the future hold and what do you envision for the Basketball Africa League?
Again, long time, we are committed for the long run. We will continue to build this product. The interest is incredible, first and foremost from the teams, from the different federations. If you wanted to move to 24 teams today, we could do that, but we want to take our time to continue to perfect the model. What the future holds, and it is my hope that we will get, more buy-in, obviously judging by, just the broadcast footprint and all across Africa and around the world. We are very encouraged. So it's up to us to make sure that the product of the court kind of merit this attention, and we will. Again, the basketball piece is the least of my worries because I know of the amount of talent we have. Now we have to go and just professionalize the environment, continue to build capacity, with the teams, and our work with FIBA continue also to focus at grassroots level to, motivate and bring the next generation of players to the forefront, and with the right training models, and continue to encourage the creation of infrastructure across the countries on the continent.
Thank you, Amadou Gallo Fall, the president of the Africa Basketball League, talking to us not only on the potential of the BAL tournament currently happening in Kigali, but also on the future and the prospects for other sectors. Now, if you want to be part of this conversation or have any comments, tweet us at CNBC Africa, or you could tag me directly at The Real Quizzer. Have a great rest of your day.